is there any real reason to even discuss the notion that Brady is the greatest, not only quarterback, but I think greatest football player when you take it in its totality that we've ever seen?
I mean, it's always up for discussion because there's always going to be people from different generations who really will defer to the people from their generation. Look, obviously, the first name that will come up is Joe Montana. When you're talking about team accomplishments, people will a lot of times default to him. But as far as what Tom has accomplished, both from a team aspect and from an individual aspect, and the long, sustained run of greatness that he has had with a varying cast of characters in the salary cap age, with the same coach, with the same, I mean, it's unprecedented what he's done. And what's interesting that Mr. Kraft has talked about is the fact that, have you seen any slowdown as far as Tom's commitment to the game? Have you seen it wane at all as far as how he's willing to sacrifice for the good of the team? How he's willing to sacrifice family time, although this year it seemed a little bit different, that he's starting to recognize that, hey, look, not everything is about the game, but still his commitment to diet, his commitment to preparation, the way he plays the game on the football field, the high level of respect that other players have of him. I mean, you hear players like Joey Bosa, you hear the clips of him talking about it last week about how's this guy do it? I mean, he's just like, he's ridiculous out there. Look, I mean, it's always going to be a subjective argument, but I wouldn't argue with what Mr. Kraft said.
I would even say that you can almost take subjective out of it. The other names you're going to come up with are going to be Jerry Rice, Lawrence Taylor, Jim Brown. None of them were doing anything near this at the age of 41. And the fact that he's still doing it at this level, at this age, he was the MVP of the league last year at age 40. To me, that ends any discussion.
Well, absolutely. And it comes down to the longevity piece. It comes down to his connection to me and his preparation. And Kraft talked about it there, his connection to his teammates. When you're 40 years old, you really don't have the desire to go one and meet the undrafted free agent who made the team and try to connect with that guy who might be the 50th, the 53rd guy on the roster. Or maybe you don't want to necessarily sit down and grind through those injuries in the offseason and continue to prepare so that you can always be your very best. Everybody loves playing in the games. That's not a question. Guys, as they age, they'll still love playing. But it's the preparation, it's the connection to the teammates, the things that you need to do as a quarterback that are always going to set you apart, and Tom Brady still has a love for it.
Yeah, when you think about even this game that he's going to play this weekend, there's an 18-year difference between him and Patrick Mahomes. That's what the NFL looks like right now, and yet he's still finding ways to connect. That leadership is so interesting. I want to bring in Adam Schefter on this. Shefty, you heard the guys, what they were saying to Patriots owner Robert Kraft, calling Tom Brady the GOAT. Give you the last word. What do you think?
Well, Laura, listen, Greeny brought up those three names, which I think are the three names that you most commonly hear associated with the greatest players of all time in football. Jim Brown, Jerry Rice, Lawrence Taylor. Is there any one of those three, as great as all three were, that you would take ahead of Tom Brady? And I would say no, none of them. I'd rather have Tom Brady than all those players. So yes, Mr. Kraft's argument stands. Tom Brady is the greatest player of all time. We can now move the debate on to something else. Tom Brady, to steal his own phrase, doesn't suck.